Thomas would have rather stayed home to rebuild America instead of dropping in for Operation Epstein Fury. Unfortunate for him, it's a big club and he ain't in it. Thomas would have rather stayed home to rebuild America instead of dropping in for Operation Epstein Fury. Unfortunate for him, it's a big club and he ain't in it.
Okie dokie, there we go. Alrighty, where's the screen here? Here we are. There I am. Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard to this other edition of this wild ride. Okay, apologies for all the delays over here. And then the final delay was this PC acting up a fool, so I had to go ahead and restart the whole thing. So 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:20. Here we go. All right, we're at least here. 8:22. Wow, this is not the most punctual, but here we are, guys. Okie dokie. After a bunch of delays, here we are. Okie dokie. Hope you all are having a great week. Yeah, it's gonna be happening quite soon. Here we go. Let's play it one more time for those of you.
Thomas would have rather stayed home to rebuild America instead of dropping in for Operation Epstein Fury. Unfortunate for him, it's a big club and he ain't in it.
Oh man. Alrighty. So let me go ahead and just get going over here and let's get started because I got a lot to go ahead and talk about over here before we get into the lounge. And I'm just gonna make sure this is short. I'm gonna make sure I got like a 15-minute timer over here. But thinking about this the last couple of days or weeks as everything has been transpiring over here. With just driving over back and forth between house and the hospital for my wife and just going through America's roads, particularly here in the crossroads of Indiana, here in Indianapolis. Okay, is it muted here? Is it working? Okay, now it's working. There we are. Apologies, guys. Okay, now you can hear me on Discord. Okay, so that should be working now. Sorry about that. All right, so hello everybody on YouTube. Alrighty, so let's get into this. So, driving around, you start to see the same sorts of things over and over again. The roads are crappy, and then those crappy roads then hurt your car, like it did to mine. Okay, so all the taxes that you pay for in this wonderful fractional reserve system that we have here in America, all that free money that is getting created and spent around, not for you, by the way, not for you. It's being spent for this, and not in quite the best ways either. But all that money being spent, and funny enough, it's being spent for one or two reasons. One, to prop up basically a fake economy, and number two, to make these wonderful people happy. We should have this on a frame, and funny enough, I had a picture frame that had this as like the default picture. So there you go. That's what we are fighting for. We're fighting for Epstein and for these guys to have their fun. Hold on, where is it? Where's the song? Wasting away again in Margarita. There we go. All right, I'm not gonna bang on too much on them because they're also gonna be hurting as well, as we'll go ahead and see quite soon over here. But back to the story. Okay, so for all the damage done to the roads, damages your car because then you're forced to go ahead and pay for it. You're forced to go ahead and commute all the way over to work, an hour or so ahead. And now they've been doing more studies on commute times, and commute times have been increasing more and more in the United States. Then you're forced to go ahead and buy a stick frame, garbage made house that in 10 to 15 years is going to be completely dilapidated because we're now propping up this suburbanizing system that is completely destroying all the rural land that we have over here. And for what? And for what? For this, this is what's going to happen. Again, it's going to take quite a while to rebuild America. But at this point, we're past circling the drain. We're going down the tubes, still pretending and looking up. Oh yeah, we're still circling the drain. No, we're down the tubes. We're down the tubes. Okay, and you can see it like this can be anywhere in America. This is just right here in my neck of the woods here in Indianapolis. Look at this darn bridge here. Let's go ahead. Make this
homeowners concerned The construction here on the 16th Street Bridge will start in June.
As our Howard Monroe found out, people agree the bridge needs to be replaced, but they hope there's a better plan than completely shutting it down.
Okay. And I just look at the condition of this bridge. Look at this. This is America in 2026. This is a bridge that was built 100 years ago. And look at this. Look at this. This is our country right now. This is our country. Okay? And again, it's everybody is paying for it, including the Margaritaville people. Here we go.
And what these businesses and how anyone is going to get to these areas.
Because we built America like this. That's why. So now businesses are going to be worried about, well, now we're shutting down, and how is anybody going to go ahead and buy the stuff that I make?
I just hope it doesn't shut down this part of town. You know, we got the 500 track down the road. We got downtown with all the Methodist hospitals, so everybody's going to get diverted.
Yeah. The impending closure also prompted Long's Donuts to repost a petition on Facebook. In their words, they want to save jobs and save lives.
Sorry, it's not going to happen. And guess what? This bridge shouldn't take that long to fix. Okay. In reality, fine. Okay, we see the bridge. It shouldn't take that long. But how long is it going to take?
Now, construction on this bridge was supposed to start last year. However, it's been delayed. And DPW says once they do get
it's been delayed. Okay, of course it's been delayed.
it started, there's nothing they can do about the timeline.
There's nothing we can do. Sorry, you just happen to live on a bridge that we've delayed and delayed and delayed. All these delays. Forget under budget and behind and ahead of schedule. We're over budget and way behind schedule. But guess what? That's not the priority.
Plans.
They say the time frame is due to the requirements of historic infrastructure work. But
Why?
those who live here say the 30th Street Bridge is reason enough to be skeptical.
And this was a nice bridge that again built at a better time. Okay? But of course, 80, 100 years later, it was also starting to fall apart. And it took them 4 years. 4 years to rebuild that bridge.
If it was only 2 years, but that's what they said about 30th, so.
Asking the neighbors once again for another 2 years of complete closure is just unfair.
Two years. But then it ended up as 4 years. By the way, the Army Corps of Engineers back in World War II could build an entire bridge within 2 days. And that's not Army Corps of Engineers. Let's go ahead. Building bridge in days, World War II. Let's just bring up these examples over here, okay? Because it just goes so it's how far down as a country we have fallen behind. Here we go. There we go. Let's put that over here. Okay, U.S. Army engineers rapidly constructed critical bridges during World War II with some operation completed in less than a day or within 10 days under combat conditions. As they were getting shot at, okay? There were mortar strikes on their positions, okay? Now, some of these were pontoon bridges. It's a lot easier to make, but some of these were actually actual bridges, okay? It didn't take that long to go ahead. Railroad bridges. Complex railroad bridge at Wessel, Germany, was assembled by multiple engineer units, including the 355th Engineer General Service Regiment, in 10 days. Open to traffic on April 9th, 1945. It's just, look at how different our country. Right now, that's what we're living in. You drive all over America, you just see it everywhere. The lack of care for our infrastructure, the roads falling apart, the bridges cracking, the trash all over the place. There's no pride anymore in this country, but don't worry. You gotta drop in. You gotta do your patriotic duty for you know who. Or you're being very anti-septic there if you think that maybe we should be going ahead and fixing our own now. Now that's not happening. Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. But let's keep going really quick. So, as also like you may know, The TSA, and we're still in a partial government shutdown, by the way, but hey, they need $200 billion right now to go ahead and start another war. Another war that nobody wants. Every single poll is on there. Just a majority of people don't want this new war. But look, if we could be building at home, look, Brightline sees record high ridership thanks to TSA delays and gas prices. So as exactly what we've been saying over and over again for years, as the demand, there's more demand for rail transportation. And as those conditions start to worsen on the airlines and on the roads, people want an alternative. And unfortunately, we don't have much of that alternative in most places. So there we go. Look, Brightline experiencing record high growth partially due to airport congestion from the ongoing partial government shutdown. High-speed passenger service saw over 40,000 past travelers between Orlando and South Florida from March 13th to 15th. Brightline offers travel deals including 50% off for children and has an airport-like security screening process. Airport-like meaning you just put your bags on there now. No funds, Second Amendments on Brightline, but whatever, you know what, it's what it is. I wish they didn't, but oh well, it's kind of what it is. But regardless, the thing is that you just walk in, you go through a scan, that's it. It's not waiting in line through the TSA. There's no pat downs or anything like that. You basically drop your bag, goes through a conveyor, gets scanned, you go through the metal detector, that's it. Okay? It's basically it. That's their only sort of airport security. It's not as intensive, nowhere near as intensive as TSA. Okay? Nowhere near at all this. And for those of you who've been on Brightline like myself, and I know you've seen this before, this is what's going on now in the airlines. And it's still happening at different airports all across the country. So, and again, it's going to get worse. Okay? This is an article sent to me. Darius sent this one over. But yeah, now with Dubai basically down, this was the airline traffic right before the strike, and there you go, not even close to what it is. So Dubai is the busiest airport on the planet. Okay? It's like basically, I believe, 30 to 50% more travelers than even Atlanta, Hartford, Jackson. So just adding that on there, okay, just looking at that. Okay, this is going to impact the entire planet. There's going to be a lot less travel going on internationally. There's going to be a lot less travel now via airlines because of the hike in gas prices. And you have plenty of airline companies, like Spirit Airlines, going out on Chapter 11 for the billionth time this year. So who knows? And look, we don't have at least the capacity to even start this war. This was something sent by another friend here. U.S., Israel, and allied countries spent 1,767 cruise and ballistic missiles, as well as 3,448 missiles for long-range air and missile defense systems over the course of a 25-day war with Iran. Look at this. Depleted of 81% of Arrow 2 and Arrow 3s from Israel. 60% of the THAAD's gone within a couple of weeks. We don't have anywhere, like I've said before multiple times, we have nowhere near the capacity to be able to even continue this war. We don't, our manufacturing base is gone. We have nowhere near the capacity that we used to have before. And look at it, there's a lot more here that are going to go down. There's a good video on this that dropped off on X. I went ahead and favorited it, but this is a good one you guys got to see here. America once built a B-24 bomber every 63 minutes. Today, it takes a decade to deliver new weapons. What happened to the arsenal of democracy? And there you go. And this video kind of explains it. Okay? Again, it takes what? 2 years to build certain missile systems? That's ridiculous. To build a Tomahawk missile, it can take anywhere between 16 to 24 months. Now, of course, they're all going on an assembly line and you're getting multiple missiles, but I mean, that's still ridiculous. We can get a full B-24 bomber within 63 minutes at the height of it. But again, that's not the priorities of what we're building over here. Apparently, this is the this is the priority right now from the Trump administration. At least what they posted so far. So yeah, it's here you go. You can listen to the music. Wow, okay. Wait, this is a library, I guess? I guess so. Oh, wait, it gets funny. Hold on. Let me just show you the funny part. Hold on. Here. Wait a second. It gets... This is probably the best part of it. There we go. There we go. The... Oh, man. Here we go. I can't tell if this is completely AI generated or it looks like a mix of both. But, I mean... somebody had to... Come on. I mean, really? Really? This is like North Korea. That definitely looks AI generated. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Why would you put the statue right between a couple of seats? This definitely looks AI generated. It's still funny nonetheless. I mean, good on the AI for thinking that the American Airlines arena is in the background there, but I mean, still, it's a little silly. But yeah, that's the that seems to be what's going on right now. But meanwhile, we can't go ahead and fill out actual jobs because we're not paying anywhere near the amount that these jobs should be. Here we are. Let's just go through this green text right here. Need high-skilled workers for dangerous jobs. Set wages unreasonably low. Lower than Starbucks. No one applies. See, Americans are too lazy. We have to import workers. Import cheap labor and their families. Take profit. Yeah. Shipyards definitely need welders, pipe fitters, and other skilled workers. But the work is dangerous, grueling, and costly. Yeah. Workers exist but choose higher paying jobs. Shipyard welders earn $54K, barely above fast food wages, while those skills earn $64K elsewhere. High churn proves the issue is pay, not a lack of skilled labor. They simply aren't choosing grueling work for low pay. And that's the reader's notes right there. So even if we did, because again, all these companies are owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. They're only beholden to the shareholders, which the shareholders want to go ahead and cut up as much pay as possible for you, by the way. Not for them. For you. And then this is what happens. So again, you're earning $54,000, and then to buy a new truck, $100,000.
$1,800. And it costs $97,000. Imagine spending 97 grand on a Ram 1500. It makes no sense. I don't know what Ram's thinking.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad out there. And then it's getting even worse. Look at that. Crude oil prices surged to historical levels. So this is trading days since start of year. Okay. And again, it's hovered around. It's gotten worse because it's right now at around 100 or so at this point. But yeah, it's gonna get bad. Well, this is by percentage. We'll get there pretty soon. Closer to 100, because probably around here, it's probably around 75. But guarantee you, if this happens, if this is, and it looks like it is. I mean, I thought it was gonna be this weekend. It looks like they're sending in more to get ready at any point this week. Probably Friday, Saturday again. They like to do this sort of stuff right before the weekend. So that's what's going on. All right, I don't want to talk too long over here. I want to bring you guys on. But yeah, look, there are things that we can build, and I did talk about the U.S. Department of Transportation contest that they're having under Sean Duffy of beautifying America. And of course, I'm going to try to do what I can, or at least throw in the Miami maglev, because people are talking about some sort of way to connect over to the Bay of Miami. Now, there's things that you can do in your own neighborhood. I mean, I've kind of given up here on Indianapolis. Like, there's really no way to do anything well, so might as well just try somewhere where things are building. I mean, this is funny and all to have that. I can't believe it. They got a golden statue of Trump. I mean, this is funny and all to go ahead and build this, but I mean, the traffic, the parking, I mean, there's got to be somewhere else to go to, because US 1 is packed to the brim. Completely packed to the brim. Just a lot of US cities are just the same thing. There's just no way to get around. And if you get around by car, well, you have to pay the price of a car. But look, this is something that we could be able to do. Now, thankfully with AI, it's kind of easy to crap this out within 30 seconds. But if you know Miami, you can tell there's something a little bit wrong over here. Downtown is nowhere near this close to South Beach. Okay, so you can tell that, again, if we had the resources and the time in order to go ahead and hire a 3D CG artist and be able to make this, or I don't know, maybe get somebody to go ahead and take some pictures, and then it's kind of easier for AIs like, hey, build a maglev along this path. It'd be a heck of a lot easier. But we'll get there. We'll probably bang out some stuff over here and see what we can do. But yeah, this would be, again, something that we can be able to make over here, and it's not like it's too far away or too hard of an ask. Okay, we can easily do it. And again, this is more than 10 years ago now, August 19, 2015. I'm not gonna let it go. Again, it's a win-win situation. You know, best case scenario, it gets done, and it can happen. Worst case scenario, we just, again, it's further exposing the system, and just look, there's the only way we can build something is just, well, there's no political solution. It's just, there's just really no way. Guess you can't do it. Just not through our current politics. Simple as that. So just give it a try. You never know. And again, I'm saying this in the complete understanding that anything on this channel, anything that I say, anything you guys say can be looked at back and connected to me and say, oh, look at the comments they say. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Okay? At this point, it's beyond, and everybody agrees. The only people who are going to disagree are bad people. Let's be honest. Everybody agrees we're trying to build something better for our country. If you don't, well, you're not a part of this thing. I guess you're not patriotic to help this country. That's as simple as that. I guess it's, it's sorry to be like so to bring it down to a sort of ultimatum, and without any shades of gray here. It's like you're either with us or against us. But it's true. I mean, even our Lord said the same thing. Those who are not with me are against me. It's as simple as that. But I mean, not to go ahead and compare anything that we're doing up to that level. But this is an issue and a problem that we're past the point of political solutions. Again, we can try, and the best case scenario is just you guys and us. We have to get to the other side of whatever this silliness is going to be. Okay? Doesn't mean everybody's going to be dropping in over here. And I know I'm out of time. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for the lounge over here. I know that. But again, just to bring up what we're talking about over here. Okay? Things can be better. Okay? But like right now, even I think at this point we're getting to there that the circus isn't fun anymore and the bread is soggy. Okay? Because bread and circuses aren't cutting it anymore. I mean, this is what you get at a baseball game, a $20 can of beer. $20 can of beer.
Hey, bro, I opened it up for you too. Yeah, I opened it up.
It's a little silly.
First one.
Let's see, why won't this pause?
How cool.
Okay, whatever. Just refresh it. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want to pause. And the whole point is, again, they fire the workers, I guess, or they're not hiring any more workers to go ahead and get beer cans. Just to serve beer. It's not like in Japan where they have I guess they still have in Japan where the cute girls with the buckets of beer or whatever, they fill up your glasses or whatever, and you go ahead and tip them. We don't even have anything like that anymore in the United States. We can't have fun like that. Okay, but that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you fire the workers. And you're still paying $20 per beer. $20 used to get you into the game, get you a hot dog, and get you a beer. Okay, now I'm pretty sure these tickets were like $100-something or whatever. Now you got to pay. Ridiculous. But thankfully, the bread and circus, the circus is getting boring, and the bread is getting soggy. Nobody's going to want it. But anyway, here's something fun. This weekend on X, there seemed to be some nice cultural exchanges between us in America and Japan. We have a lot more in common with both of each other's cultures here, okay? And this is one pretty cool post over here. You can see it. Again, they love cars over there, okay? It's not like it's a non-car culture in Japan. Quite the opposite. They love cars over there. Here's Kenichi the cowboy over here going for his Dairy Burger King. There we go. So, yeah, look, we respect each other. And again, when I bring up, bringing stuff over from Japan, it's out of respect that, they have some stuff right. They have a lot of stuff right. And look, we could do something similar over here. Okay? Let's put it this way. They're a hell of a lot more of an ally than Greatest Ally. Okay? Because even Greatest Ally is not deploying any troops, if you've noticed. Okay? But look, it's just, there's at least some good here in this world. Okay? It's not like everything is all terrible and awful. I mean, look, there's at least some bright moments in here. At least Brightline seems to be doing very well despite what's going on. Well, probably thanks to what's going on, they're probably doing well. All right, and there's at least a connection between the U.S. and Japan that hopefully when a certain group of people stop becoming the priority, we can finally start. It's not the smiling friends meme. Don't worry about it. A certain group of people. But when America and the American family and American men and women and children start becoming the priority again, and the American destiny, because again, the whole Epstein thing just proves two things. America's children and its destiny are for sale. Okay? And that needs to stop. But the minute that stops, we can finally get back to being a country, a serious country again. We can finally get stuff on the road over here. So, anyway, that's my take. I had a lot more I was going to go over, but you know what? I want to move it over to you guys and get the phone lines open. Or, wow, there's a lot of people here on Discord. Real quick, let's go over YouTube and see what's going on over there. Let's see. Good evening. Hello, Brian Rock Rail fan, A2R Gaming, Heartless Fiend, Adam Bussier, Mr. Reed's Trains. Okay, now you guys can hear me on Discord, so that's good. Hope Country and Suburban do not cross. They very much are crossing lines over here. We're out in places like right next door to this suburban plot is a cornfield. This place was a cornfield like 3 years ago. Okay, it's getting worse. And it's not by choice. It's like you're basically forced into it because there's no other way to basically live given the economic circumstances. Again, this is what I'm talking about. You're basically stuck. And I'd like to live closer in the city if that was possible. If the cities again were safe, which by the way, if you guys have seen what's happened in New York, 82. Let me see if I can find that. I don't know why it didn't come up, but okay, you know what? Since you brought it up, talking about the cities, let me bring this up real quick. Got the wrong. While that's being brought up, let me go ahead and look through the rest of the comments over here. The Portal North Bridge is complete and in service. There we go. Okay, well that's one good thing. Is Texas Central on hiatus or canceled? It is basically right now on permanent hiatus. It was canceled and then it kind of came back and it's kind of just sitting in limbo as a half Amtrak project, half. It's going to hit the same roadblocks that it did before. Pun intended, I mean roadblocks, because again, it's the state of Texas. They will build 3,000 lanes if possible, and they will turn Dallas, Houston, and Austin into a giant mega region of concrete all the way over to the Gulf if necessary. That's kind of the way that it's going so far. I don't really have much faith in the Texas Central Railway getting completed, mainly due to Texas's just horrible politics. I mean, there's California on one end of the terrible coin, and then Texas is right on the other end. I mean, both those states are just. I'm sorry, they're. It's really bad when it comes to politics in their own ways. Does Texas have some freedom? Yeah, but you can't say certain things, or else, or you can't. Let's put it this way: certain communities can't decide whether their money goes to their own community or they'll be anti-septic. Let's put it that way. Post some info of a metro area and what it serves. Okay, let's talk about that then. Let's talk about certain metro areas and what they serve. Couldn't quite understand what that was, but let's talk about it. Hold on a second. Here we go. Let's talk about what metro area serves. Oh, here we go. Furious veteran dies after migrant allegedly pushed him onto subway tracks. There you go. So you serve your country well. You see multiple people die. Your friends getting blown up. You come back home. And then instead of dying gracefully with in the arms of your family, you die by some spiteful mutant pushes you onto America's aging infrastructure to get run over by a train. Yeah, that's again. This is why people don't want to ride on American transit, because this sort of thing still happens. And the MTA still thinks that they can be able to solve this issue by, I don't know, changing the gates, as if that's going to happen. They spent, let's see, $1.1 billion on modern gates. And oopsie, I guess it's not this is what they get. There we go. Let's see what else $1.1 billion gets you. Oh wait. What does $1.1 billion get you? Yeah, people jumping over the gates. Again, we're not a serious country if there's no serious consequences for people jumping over the gates, like that video we saw before. Again, it has less to do with whatever system you put in place, and it has to do with the people behind it. That's why in Japan, they don't have any of this. There's barely any gates. The gate comes up and it's like little polite gate that comes over, just a little nudge reminder. Excuse me, you forgot to swipe your Suica card. Okay, but all in all you got to do is swipe your card and just breeze through, and there's no gates of any sort. It's very little. Again, people make a place. Location is all based on people. So anyway, alrighty, let's keep going through the YouTube comments over here, and I promise I can feel the itching. I can feel the itching on the Discord channel. We will get there. Okay, good news. North Shore and South Bend Monon line open. There we go. All right, so some things are happening. That took a while for that to get going on the South Shore. Link Light Rail line across Washington open. There we go. Mystery Train, one track is finished and the other half is being worked on later this year. All right. So I'm going to stop being the bearer of the bad news. And if you guys have good news or anything else you want to share, the floor is yours. Again, this may be the last live stream of any sort for a while, so I'm going to try to make this a little bit longer for you guys. Go ahead.
Good evening, Demetrius.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Dude,
how's she coming along?
Coming along well. We are right there, close to the finish line. So let's see where this goes. We're almost there.
Dimitri, I need. You remember the Ralph Fannin DVD group Pantrax and Sea View Productions?
Yeah.
I was watching one of their YouTube channel talking about the Northwest Pacific Railroad in California, the one that went up to Eureka, California.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking. I looked into the history about that railroad, and this is real dirty, because I do got two posts talk about what I'm about to talk about with this, but this railroad, and when they were there doing their documentary of the railroad, it was in 1994, the year before the line to Eureka got closed down by flooding. And I was looking into history about it and watching the documentary. The documentary would talk about how much profit the railroad were actually bringing in and how they were doing good. It did back in 1994. And in 1995, they had a massive flood that went through the Eel River, destroying part of the line, and having their rolling stock and locomotive stranded in Eureka, California. But this is where the messed up part is. The railroad literally tried to plead with the FRA to rebuild the railroad to reopen the freight traffic, and they kept on denying them to the point where they had to give up. And
so what was the reason for denying their claim to go ahead and try to reopen the railroad?
Well, here's something I found out, and I was looking into it, and I was looking at the Wikipedia about it before they suddenly changed it.
Yeah. By the way, do you have a link to any of this so we can put it up for anybody who wants to see?
what about the railroad? Well, seeing it, I have the link in what I will send that later on in up the Wikipedia, but they updated it so you can't find the passing unless you look at the rewind Wayback Machine. But
If you get the Wayback
I would
link, you
talk.
can put that up.
Yeah, I just don't know how to work it. My bad. I got that.
Let me
early.
guess. The FRA said no
But
because.
but let me get back to what I was talking about. I was talking to a friend who lived in the area about this. He said, "Oh, that must be Rick doing." So I pressed him on who the Rick guy is. Turns out there was a guy who owned a trucking company in the area that were having a hard time trying to compete with the railroad from Eureka down to San Francisco. And he had a friend who worked for the FRA. So you can get where I'm going with it.
Okay, so yeah, I clearly get where you're
So
going. So in turn,
basically,
trucking guy colluded
friend,
with the FRA.
like, oh yeah, basically,
Yep.
yeah. Basically, he summed it
Yeah.
up perfectly. Trucker guy
It didn't-
tells FRA, don't let this railroad get built.
No, don't let it be rebuilt. Don't let them reopen. And I looked into it. The area before 1994, and then after 1996. Before 1994, the trucking companies, and I'm talking about the trucking company from Eureka down to San Francisco, in that region, they were not making that much money. They were not. It was not until after 1995 and 1996 they started making a ton of money. Which kind of fishy, ain't it?
Yeah, look, I'm not at all surprised. I mean, this is the problem with this country now is that to go ahead and to get funding to build larger infrastructure projects basically becomes nearly impossible because of either zoning, because of different regulations that make it nigh improbable to even get this built on a set schedule. But then on top of that, it's like, well, we want to go ahead and take all this billions of dollars. But there's a stock market. We can go ahead and flush out all this money, or we can go ahead and put it into a whole bunch of Series A and B fundings of a whole bunch of who knows what BS vaporware to go ahead and push out. Or right now, the current thing is AI everything. Which at the end of that, there's only going to be like 2 or 3 AIs left that are actually worth a damn. But at that point,
it's going to become the next .com bubble.
Yeah,
where
I mean there already are .ais instead of .com. So I guarantee you, like the minute like I've seen like .ai, it's like, oh, here we go. It's give it a couple more years. We're ticking the clock.
Yeah, it's a helpful tool,
get what I'm talking about?
So bad.
All right.
Minor tree.
Yeah, David, go ahead and finish off, and let's go ahead and let everybody else talk here.
Did what the first railroad that fell victim to this? Then, almost a decade later, in 2008, the McCrowell Railroad, also in California, fell victim to this type of crap. And now, another railroad, it's starting to get ready to fall victim for it. And I actually called out the anti-rail group for it, and on Facebook with Minor Tree, you seen what I was talking about. I called the anti-rail group out on Facebook, and they blocked me.
All right.
Me because I called them out.
David, I appreciate it, but let's go ahead and let some others speak. All right, let's.
I have the link to it. I have the link to the like right here.
David,
let's go ahead and revisit that later. Appreciate it, David. Okay.
See, David, anti-rail groups just hate people who are pro-rail, so they're gonna block you when you call them.
Yeah, here's we have the profile pictures of most of the anti-railroad group people, but there we go. All right, David, appreciate it. Let's go ahead and go down the line. Let's give everybody here 5 minutes at least, and then we can open up full-on discussion. All righty, Darius, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, Demetrius. Hanging in there. Really trying to hang on in there.
Darius, you're muted.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm really trying to hang on in there.
All right. How's everything in life? Again, I'm pretty sure you're hanging on there so far, but I mean, things are at least starting to look better.
Seems to me like that they're worse now in financial terms.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah, for Darius, you want to share for anybody who doesn't know what's going on? If you want to share what's going on in your life for everybody's context.
Still trying to find. It wasn't bad enough that I was underemployed, but now I'm underemployed in the first place.
What happened?
Being pushed around.
Long story short, Darius got laid off because most likely because of his condition of being autistic. So the new manager there didn't like him for that. So that's more or less what happened. But yeah, no, this is again, everything is tough right now in the economy. It's even worse for men our age. Even worse still even after that. If you happen to have autism. So yeah, this is the life we're living in right now. So no.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, to make y'all feel better, I got 3 funny memes to make you feel better, Darius and Dimitri. You might want to show these because they are super funny.
All right. Well, let's go to the Darius. Is there anything that you wanted to share or talk about from any of the topics that were shared tonight?
Yes, about cost and manufacturing. It's not just all the fanciest tech, because that's what even Anduril, which is not part of the military industrial complex, Anduril still clinging on to that we could be the best always if we have the most advanced technology. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes we have to go back to go forward, and it's all about cost.
That's true.
Yeah, we could have used we have cheap trainer planes with turboprops that are sometimes armed as light attack aircraft. They could have been like multiplication of those A-10 Warthogs that are taking down drones and speedboats.
Yeah, but don't worry. We need $1 trillion into the F-35 program. So then it could still get hit by some cheap Soviet era made Russian anti-aircraft. Regardless,
are you referring to the rumor that Iran shot down one of our jets?
They definitely heard it, but they didn't shoot it down.
Yeah,
it's
they didn't.
Yeah, because it's funny how they cut off the video right before anything happens. Like they got it, they hit it, they definitely detected it.
So
that was all rumors.
Yeah, what happened? That was all rumors. What I heard from a guy who actually used to work in the military, that jet was actually an emergency landing for a whole other reason, and then Iran just tried to say they shot it down, or they caused damage to it.
Yeah, like the same thing happened with the F-117 over Belgrade in Serbia during that whole incursion. So yeah, I just again, look, the whole thing is that we're definitely not as strong as we thought we were, and this doesn't need to be happening. It's like
and these mines are going to be a nightmare. And these mines are going to be a lingering nightmare.
Yeah, it's less about that.
You're going to get this.
Here's what you got to do.
We should have had all this undersea technology right and ready from the get-go, instead of wasting away in Boomeritaville while Iran builds their doomsday weapons to threaten Israel and the U.S.
I mean, it's less that. It's just they have a ton of who knows how many drones and missiles and everything else we have left. And then the problem isn't the cost. It's really the scale of production. And there's nowhere near the scale of production that we had anywhere close to not just World War II, but anywhere that Iran has. To the point that they're getting more or less the same amount of missile shots now in terms of just percentage by shooting less, because our whole entire defense system has been expended in the last couple weeks.
It's not cost effective with using $1 billion missile for $20,000 drone
Look,
That's why
it's a lot more
Ukraine is
cost
even
effective if we were to
funded.
spend $1 trillion and fix up our own infrastructure and our manufacturing base. And then if you want it 10 years later, sure, go ahead into Iran. I don't care. Okay, the problem is that there's so many problems over here first. It's like, why go into Iran when our bridges look like they just suffered attacks by Iran? I mean, this is just ridiculous. So, anyway, Darius, last words that you wanted to say? We got the ringer on.
My point is that it was right now. It's kind of a quagmire. Right now, it's like kind of a quagmire.
And
we should have done this. We should have been production of all these small little interceptor quadcopter drones like they built in Ukraine, all prepared and ready, and with light attack aircraft, all with guns and little Mighty Mouse cheap rockets that could take down the drones and the fast boats real easily, all ready from the get-go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I was like, none of us are certainly rooting for Iran, but we're certainly not rooting for a country to go to war and to have how many more thousands dead. With another Middle Eastern war for nothing to show for. We're not rooting for that. We're rooting for our country to be better. So, yeah, again, appreciate that, man. But thank you for coming on, Darius. So we'll come back later if we have enough time for everybody to chime on in. Jim Bone said, I think on the train's AI is the same one that was used for the opening Thomas vid. Yeah, I tried to get George Carlin, but Google blocked having any sort of voices like that for copyright reasons. I'll get it somehow. I'll put that on there. But anyway, all right, we have somebody new over here. Definitely not Griffith. Let's go ahead and
What's up?
Just the guy speak. What's up? How you doing?
What's up, man? I love your channel, dude. I'm glad there's actually people talking about having like high-speed rail in the United States, and then just talks about like infrastructure in general. It's such a breath of fresh air. Like, oh my god.
So the funny thing is, we'll go from talking about infrastructure to the most random shit ever.
That's fair.
That's why it's fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love the group, man.
One moment
We
we're
have
talking
cookies in
about
the bag.
next moment we're talking about state system.
I figured I'd show up. I'm the Griffith VTuber guy or whatever that you commented like ages ago or whatever. So I was like, he streams. I'm gonna see what he's doing.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. I just appreciate your videos. I like try to give support where I can. Is because again, one of the few YouTubers talking about American infrastructure. I love that.
No, appreciate it. Yeah, no, appreciate your videos. I know we're like on sort of opposite ends of the political spectrum here, but horseshoe theory in general. But yeah, no, it's again, there's a lot
fair.
that we can all agree on when it comes to building anything for our country to really get up to where it needs to be at this point.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's like, look, at this point, we're at a, how do I put it this way? We're at a confluence that it really requires some sort of strong man to really get things done, because we're past the point of any political solution. We've tried it. We've done it multiple times. I've been there. Everybody's been there. And it's just like, yeah, it's just impossible to get anything done.
Oh, it's allowed to be talked about on this channel, but what do you think of Bukele?
Bukele, I think, is probably the most effective politician within the Western Hemisphere, mainly because he just gets things done. And
yeah, like his country looked like a third world country, and now it looks like a first world country. And all he did was, be tough on crime. That's the crazy thing. Like that's not. He might do infrastructure later, but it's a bit of a tangential thing. But there's ways to make things nicer.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like you have to bring consequences, or there's not going to be any changes. Simple as that. No consequences, no changes. And he brought in consequences, and that's it. It's like, look, if you have a country where your greatest city, your crown jewel of a city, is having 82-year-old veterans getting pushed and killed and murdered on the subways, or like what happened to Irina Zarutska, her getting knifed. I mean, at that point, it's like, why even go on public transit? It's like you haven't even fulfilled the
exactly
bottom end of the hierarchy. Yeah, you have to have safety.
The social contract.
That's the thing. I was talking with one of my buddies about that, and because this is the thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about. A lot of the people who are big pro public transportation, public infrastructure, don't want to address the problem with like the inner city and crime. Is the fact is that people are not going to use these things if it has a ton of crime. Okay, I'm a big pro like urban planning. I love light rail, high speed rail. But the thing is that like the reason why a lot of these things don't get used is because of crime problems. And if you're tougher on crime, people will be more safe to use them.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Yeah, there you go.
Just a guy. I do want to bring it up. That's also true, and I did talk about too that big automotive, like car dealership and big automotive, uses as an advantage to get people to buy cars. It's psychological too. Am I right?
But the problem, but you have to remember, some of us don't have other choices, so we have to buy a car.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're just stuck. It's like, okay, number one, you either buy a car or you don't work. It's as simple as that. You're stuck in an ultimatum of just like, yeah.
Not just for the work. You just go around the society.
Okay, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
One at a time.
All right, here, Dean. Everybody tell we're not forcing the car that cars are freedom, but that is bullshit. That is bullshit to the BS, because here, Dean, we're technically forced into cars because either you get a car or you're not going to live. Am I right?
Well, I can go on to a 5-hour rant on that, but for the most part,
yes, definitely.
The car is one of the best tools ever made. The only problem is when it's the only tool that is made available, which then it becomes the issue.
That's the problem here in the U.S. Hey, Jig Guy, am I right too?
Mm-hmm. The thing is that like when it comes to the inner cities, because the fact is that like there needs to be, when you get to a certain level of density when it comes to like population within a city, right? You have to have much better urban planning. You have to kind of get rid of the car culture. You have to get rid of parking minimums. You got to invest in light rail. The thing is that it's not very viable to use cars when you get enough people into a location. Like if you're in the countryside, that makes sense if you want to use cars. But at one point or another, you need to have like alternative modes of transportation, because that's going to be a major problem. And on top of that, it's like, there was an employment problem. We all know about the problems that if you don't have a car, you can't have a job. And if you don't have a job, you can't get a car. Okay. This would not be a problem if you had more cities that were walkable entirely, where you didn't rely on a car for transportation all the time. This wouldn't be a discussion. It's because you could just live in the city and you could just take a light rail to work every day.
Mm-hmm. And we know that possible. Freedom and Ford.
Yeah, that would work for like general. That works for your office jobs. And it works in the Netherlands. The Netherlands did a great job with that.
Well, and the funny thing now is that the commercial real estate market is reeling, particularly with office space, because nobody wants to go back to work. It's like, look, it's absolutely beyond stressful to be wasting 2 hours of your life every single day battling with, by the way, roads that now have record amounts of road rage. So going on the road is the most dangerous thing you can be doing in America nowadays, apart from just eating anything grown and made for the American public. It's like those are the two most dangerous things you can be having, is high fructose corn syrup and going on American roads. Either way, you're gonna die somehow, and it's not gonna be well. So you're stuck with that. Meanwhile, all these places that they've been building all over now can't have anybody leasing any of those offices. So now they're running out of money. The grift is starting to finally grind on itself without any of that money to be going around. And this is, again, the whole part of this is that we're trying to prop up a fractional reserve banking system for the best of Wall Street, the baby boomers who at least have, because again, now even the baby boomers are hurting from it. At least a good half of them who haven't been able to save up for anything, who have been screwed over by a number of different scams, including our own economy. And again, the rest of this is just for the Epstein class. It just comes down to the country and its destiny and its people are for sale. And it's a parasitical, like you've said it before, Alistair, and I completely agree. Again, a parasitical population that is sucking this country dry.
But you're forgetting one thing: the great documentary Mad Max, the original one, it was set in 2020, and now people are just dressing and driving around acting like it is a Mad Max kind of adventure out there.
Yeah,
on
my car was sounding
Yeah,
like Mad Max being straight piped this week, and I mean I can feel the whole Japanese V8 300 horsepower out of that. Thanks to the absolute mouth breathers at Discount Tire for crushing my muffler. Thank you. But because of that, I mean, like, look, we're getting closer. It's to the point that SHTF situations is going to be boring. It's going to be get to work and survive. Everybody's going to be armed to the teeth. You start to act up a fool somewhere on traffic. You walk out of your car, that's a death sentence, and that's happened already a couple times here in Indianapolis. So and down in Miami. So I can only imagine the rest of the country's going to get worse.
Well, as long as the fuel prices don't go crazy and people are swinging on the fuel trucks to get it like they do in Mad Max, we're good.
Well, hold on, because there was I got to find this article because I think it was either down in Colombia, Venezuela, where these gas gangs are now going around and siphoning up gas out of pipelines and taking advantage. Like it's basically now Mad Max. I'm gonna see if I can find that article because that's actually kind of. It's kind of scary but hilarious at the same time.
Mad Max, all you have to do is go to Mexico.
Oh, by the way, just guy, like I live here in Charleston. You've been to Charleston, South Carolina before, am I right?
Me?
Yeah.
I have not been to Charleston. Actually, maybe when I was really young, but I didn't have to deal with the traffic. I think I remember hearing you in a voice chat talk about the traffic in Charleston. I must have heard you. It sounds very familiar.
And here at Dane, Charleston, we're now at a population where we need a commuter rail and heavy rail. The problem is that the car dealership, they got a monopoly around here. Here, like, the dealership, like, heck, like, right in an area called West Ashley, South Carolina, there, for 4.8 miles, there is 36 car dealerships in 4.8 miles. They're not competing with each other.
City planning. They will put car dealerships next to car dealerships, next to more car dealerships, because that's how they want to plan them. Our dumb city here has decided to put all the commercial property on one side of town, and so everybody, especially on the weekends, everyone goes shopping over there, turning this little 4-lane road into a traffic headache.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem I'm going to bring up. Like, if the car dealership, like, if they were really competing with each other, there would not be that many car dealerships in that area. They're not really competing. That's the kicker. All of them are like what I'm going to say. They call a duopoly. What do you call a duopoly? Where they're all working together to keep competition out. Heck, back in 2016, and then over a decade ago, they lobbied against a commuter rail ideal that was brought up and killed it before it even got out of the gate. That's how bad they are.
The problem with the United States is it's the stubbornness of the United States. Like Singapore and a couple of East Asian countries with the gas prices spiking, basically told all white collar workers, just do remote work or something like that. The funny part is if you ask most white collar workers if they'd prefer to have like a high paying job where they have to commute into the city or where they would take a pay cut for remote work, most people would be perfectly fine taking a pay cut for remote work. The thing is like they don't ever consider that. These businesses, I don't know if like maybe a tax law, like basically saying you get tax breaks if you encourage people to remote work. But the thing is, there's plenty of countries in the face of the gas crisis, quite literally encouraging people to do remote work. The United States, that would be in kind of an unthinkable public policy is because of its inflexibility. Even though the fact is that would remove a lot of cars off the roads in the first place if that was the case, and then B, also like make the roads less congested and also probably reduce the amount of fuel usage in total. But that never crosses the minds of a lot of the policymakers in our country. They like to shove a square through a circle hole as hard as they possibly can.
Well, there's a problem with the remote work idea. It's multiple different factors, but the main ones is one, the company either bought the building or is leasing it out, and they want to make sure they're getting the most out of that purchase or lease agreement. So they're doing everything in their power to keep people going there so they don't feel like they're overdoing it, because it's like you have remote work. All right, you have 1,000 people in the building. and if everyone's working there. But if you have remote work, now there's only 400. All right, you spent too much money on that building or the lease. So they have an incentive to keep people going there. The second thing is a lot of people cannot work without having like a middle manager looking over their shoulder every other 5 minutes. So if you can't figure out who can work without that overarching kind of capability and let them stay home, you can incentivize hard workers get to remote work maybe 1 to 4 days a week, and all of a sudden it's now much more competitive. But that comes down to the industries as a whole, because you can't have your sous chef working from home.
But Minor
So-
Tree, think
Yeah,
of our
that's kind of-
CBRE shareholders. JLL is not going to like this at all.
That's a problem right there. It's because of property values. That's the problem. Is because like the reason they buy properties in the major cities, and Joshua Fluke has talked about that. I don't know if anybody else watches his channel.
Yeah.
Is that they buy it there is in the big city is because that's the properties in the big city will appreciate the most. This is speculative garbage. Okay, that's the reason they need people going into the city. Working in the city, paying exorbitant prices towards city rents, so their property values go up, and that's the incentive structure I'm talking about. That's really kind of screwing things up. It's all going down to the property market. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, so this is just being driven up by speculation. You need everybody in the city paying $3,000 a month in rent so you can drive up asset prices in the city. It's like, they get the best of both worlds. They can basically siphon it through like, the indirect property market. That's the incentive structure that kind of needs to be nipped.
Yeah, that's more of the devaluation of the currency and subsequent inflation, but that goes into economics, which I'm pretty sure there's only going to be like 20 people who watch this video who could keep up with it. So I'll just keep it as brief as possible. But for the most part,
and don't forget
the land is the asset, the building is the liability, and as long as the land's value stays up more than the devaluation of the property itself, they're good. And for the most part, buildings and land tend to stay at least competitive, if not make money.
Oh yeah, and they don't care.
So that is
except me. I'm the one that keeps things reasonable.
That is the core of who we are. A reasonable high intensity of autism. There we go.
Remember
He tried to stay reasonable, but
Velomobiles? Remember when I talked about Velomobiles, those little things? Well, my goes up here again in an era of high prices. They have the of a car and the of a car.
Gentlemen, one at a time, please.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Who hasn't spoken yet? Adam.
I don't think I've got.
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay, we'll go Adam, and then we'll go Dump Trucker, and then hold on. Let's go to the memes first, because I know David is itching to go ahead and get these memes shared.
Have we done any?
Let's get the memes up first.
Have you done any Chuck Norris memes yet?
We missed that. We missed that whole entire week. I mean, I was obsessed with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee as a kid. So I mean, the fact that I haven't said anything about that,
yeah, it's amazing.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks.
I've made one Chuck Norris meme. I made.
Alrighty, hold on. Let me see. USPS tracking.
In 1983, but Death was too scared to go and tell him for so long.
Oh,
Chuck Norris didn't lose to life. He just finally beat death. So that's where we're at. He had to go finally
building a new game plus.
Chuck Norris didn't cheer for a team. The team cheered for him.
Hey, let's get to the memes.
Some was hatching.
All right, here are the memes. All right, let's see what we got over here. All right, so let me see. We got a USPS M1 Abrams here. USPS Tracking Plus available. We fired it at T72. February 26, 1991 at 9:06:73 Easting. Nothing you can do about it. Okay, that one's I get that one. It's Desert Storm memes over there. Alrighty, let's see what's this one over here. Damn, the road lane ends again. I hate sharing the tracks with the train. This is definitely something that Brightline would be going over.
Oh, I know.
Goodness. Okay.
Well, they have to deal with Florida, man.
All right, let's see what's the next one we got over here. Yeah, I definitely see the resemblance between the ICE3 and the carp. Or koi fish. That's a koi. Whatever. You know what I mean. Carp, koi fish, the same family. Alrighty.
At the museum.
Oh,
And here's the Chuck Norris one.
Found the train of the future.
All right, I see
found
the
it.
Chuck Norris run. Okay, it's okay. I said I'm ready. Alrighty, guys.
Oh, don't talk about what you posted.
It's the train to the future.
The solution to our rail capacity issues came to me in a dream. Now, let's. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a sextuple tripper, a decker. It's a heck of a lot more than a double or triple decker. So there we are.
Yeah, there's no
I'm
way that
pretty
could
sure
run
they
any
need an
bridge.
elevator to stay with ADA compliance.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Alrighty, go ahead, Adam. Anything that you want to share, man?
Yes, I did post a few articles, some nice articles about people taking trains instead of waiting at TSA to take a plane. Just the
Okay.
United States.
Let me see over here.
Saying the last TSA crazy, so
yeah.
some people take train instead.
Okay, you can tell who wrote this article. It's like you can always tell who wrote the article if they have a selfie of themselves in front of a train. you can always tell.
I'm saying it sounds like a nice story.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and read through it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be. Oh, okay. I'm already scrolling through it. Okay. I appreciate it, Adam. All right, let me see if I can skim through it as quickly as possible for you guys. Over here. Alrighty, so written by Christine Viorello. I chose a 20-hour train over a 2-hour flight to avoid airport chaos. See what the experience aboard really was like. I'm pretty sure she spent a heck of a lot less time being stuck in an airport. I mean, with delays and everything going on, if you completely miss your flight via TSA, you're
simple.
Okay, let me see. Oh, wait, we have thank you. We can thank AI for something because there's at least a 3 bullet pointed summary over here. So let's read the summary. Okay, the partial government shutdown caused hours long TSA lines at many airports.
Yeah, it was actually so long that some actors decided to drive instead of fly.
I think the worst one is I forget which senator or representative it was. No, it was Nancy Mace. That's what it was. It was Nancy Mace going ahead and saying, "Well, it's not so bad." Well, Nancy, you get you get the red carpet treatment when you go onto when you go to any airport. You get your security guards over there. You get Secret Service to go ahead, pull you through to your own TSA Plus. Which, by the way, if you have to, you have to go ahead and pay on top of which the taxes that you pay for, you have to pay for TSA pre-check. So it's like basically a protection service for a mafia in order to go ahead and keep the dignity of having your shoes on and not having to go ahead and take everything out of your bags. I mean, it's ridiculous. Every time me and my wife have gone through TSA, it's been an absolute disaster. It doesn't help that either of us can keep our mouths shut when it comes to most of these TSA officers, so we're just kind of inviting in trouble. I mean, at this point, like, I've learned to just... That's the thing. It's like, there you go. Your constitutional rights, including your First Amendment right, have been stripped away anytime you enter these... It sucks. All right, let me...
Oh, have you? Okay, so the TSA has gotten so bad. My coworker was doing DoorDash. Anyone know who Alan Sadiq is?
No idea. What market are you working in?
Tudyk? No?
No.
Should look him up. He's an actor.
Okay, so that's how bad it's gotten that their TSA agents are doing DoorDash?
Now let me.
I'm saying that's not the real reason way you make money.
What the guy looks like. You might recognize him from Transformers.
Okay, okay, let me see if you have the.
That guy.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was going across the state, and my coworker DoorDashed to him.
Oh, nice.
There's a photo of him.
That's cool.
Okay,
and the actor.
Okay, that's where I guess that's where lines got miscrossed when trying to understand that story. Okay, that's who he is. Okay.
Yep, he got. So it's so bad the actors aren't even just taking TSA. They're just gonna drive.
Okay. So let me see where this author went. Okay, between Chicago and New York. So she canceled her $100 one-way flight from Chicago to New York. An average flight time of 2 hours, and booked a $200 coach ticket aboard Amtrak's Lakeshore Limited, which would get me between the two cities in 20 hours. You know what's the crazy thing about that is that same line used to take 8 hours. back in the 1930s.
High-speed train could take
on high
closer
speed,
to 5 at
No.
most.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
if we were to
maybe
have
high.
it, like at this point,
But
whatever,
the cross
let's have the Chinese come over here, you know, and build rail lines at this point, because at least they can get things done. By the way, I don't know if you guys have seen that one video, or any articles, about the lock system they have for getting through these mountains, for boats. It's absolutely insane.
The Erie Canal.
Yeah, the canals that they have there. Yeah, and this lock system is like 800 feet up in the air. That's insane.
Yeah, it goes up and goes down.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that. Let me see Chinese. Let me see tallest canal.
I don't know if
lock.
it's going to pass because because look what it is importing millions of Chinese workers to do our job once before. Look what happened in the 19th century.
History repeats itself, but assured those are. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, look, we can be doing all this sort of stuff here in this country. Let me see if I can just find it. Again, it goes back to what I've been saying, and Alistar came in here and saying is that, again, it's a lot easier for any investor to drop billions of dollars into some vaporware company that will be forever shuffled around in a revolving door of just full-on speculation to the point it just falls along collapses. I mean, look, you've had companies like Theranos, okay? Basically was selling a whole bunch of hopes and dreams, literal hopes and dreams. And there you go, nothing out of it. And I forget if that court case actually revolved into something. And that's another thing, is that these court cases take forever to get anything done. Irina Zarutska's killer is still basically out within legal limbo. Nothing has actually happened. It just goes back. Yeah, it just goes back to there's no consequences and no changes to anything going on there. And I can't find the exact.
Well, when it comes to like murder trials, those are like on a 2-year backlog. So.
Oh yeah, those are.
So there's a chance he won't even see inside that courtroom until next year.
Oh yeah,
it's
I'll give you an example here. There is a murder case of a real estate agent here that got murdered a few years ago, and they now just made an arrest about it.
Oh,
they now just took action in the court system.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, look, at some point, I mean, even in American history, and I've talked about this before, is like, if you look at American history, it really is very much a very violent and chaotic country. It always has and always will be, to a point. I mean, the last couple of years where I've just traveled the country and gone to these museums, like Museum of the West or the National Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City. I mean, we've just gone so far back behind. Like, you look at people like Andrew Jackson and Teddy Roosevelt. These are the type of just people we need to be emulating here in this country again. Because without that sort of quiet reserve of, I would say, violence in a sense, but you kind of have to have that temper down to a point that people just understand it's like there's a certain line you don't cross. And back in the day, if you had something like what happened to Irina Zarutska, that would have been solved within 2 weeks, and everybody would have been glad with that.
And on that line of that you don't cross, that line has faded so much that you just don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, speaking of China, I mean, they sentenced the head of the Chinese rail conglomerate group to death after being found guilty of corruption that caused the largest high-speed rail disaster in history. They found him guilty of corruption immediately. Yeah, sentenced him to death. And they've done this with a couple of other. Now, is part of it absolutely political? Sure, it probably is. And it's probably Xi Jinping's way of calling out people who are political dissidents or people he's not too privy to.
People that he doesn't like.
Fine, but like
the wording would probably be people he doesn't like.
Yeah, but like even in this country, it's like you can't. Trump can't even do anything correct or right. Like, he can't even get rid of his own political enemies, or quote unquote political enemies, because at this point it's become clear to anybody that both sides of this are all into this both sides are part of the Epstein class. So of course they're not going to get rid of their enemies because they're a part of the same. They're all one and the same.
Well, some are on the outside trying to
it's
fight their
been-
way in, and others are on the
It's
inside
been-
trying to keep
I'll
others
say
out.
this,
Yeah.
It's been theorized that if Trump wants to, if the Republicans need to win, they need to make some arrests, but that won't happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Look, like the thing about the Biden administration is like they didn't stop anywhere at going ahead and arresting anybody involved with January 6th. Now, again, compared to what actual rebellions and insurrections are, January 6th was nowhere close to an insurrection. Like on a scale from piss poor to Latin America, it was very, very much piss poor in terms of what an insurrection could be.
The fact that people don't talk about the May 29th insurrection says everything you need to know, because they were starting to burn down DC. And does anybody know what happened on that day?
No one talks about it.
Yeah, there are very few that talk about it, and none of the mainstream media even mentions it because they don't want to admit that they caused an insurrection that lasted through the night and into the next day, and it caused the president to go down into the bunker.
Who was president at the time?
Trump. Because this happened in 2020.
Yeah.
That's why they won't even talk about it.
I mean, look, again, going back to what I said about, the violent history of America, like, look up the Battle of Blair Mountain, okay? That was an actual, you want to talk about an insurrection, okay? This was an actual full-on war, more or less, okay? So, I mean, this country is not that far removed from that. We're talking about something that happened a little bit more than 100 years ago, so we're not that far removed.
Or the Battle of Athens, Tennessee.
Yeah, there you go. Darius, I know you talked about Athens, Tennessee multiple times. Yeah, the citizens just didn't like the way they voted. It's like, you know what? No, we didn't vote that way. You lied. You're corrupt. We'll go ahead and take things into our own hands, and that's it. It's like sometimes it's like Mad Max universe type stuff. At some point.
Yes.
All right, Renell, welcome aboard, man. There you are.
Bud.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
Nope.
How are you doing, Demetrius?
I am doing good. It has been quite a week. I am T minus 5 days until expected delivery day. So who knows? I mean, this baby can come at any time. So I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah. I got a little question for. Do you think Do you think Amtrak was ever taking note of what was passenger rail innovations that were going on in France, Germany, and Japan, and other parts of the world?
Oh, 100%.
Throughout the
Back in the
50
90s.
years of existence?
Yeah, back in the 90s, they invited in several
They had
different high-speed rail.
They had the ICE on the Northeast Corridor.
Oh yeah, back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
they were,
back in the 90s,
like
they were
if you
testing
look
on
at
trains.
how if you look at where the AEM-7 came from, it originated from Europe. The test bed was from Europe.
Yeah, I believe from Sweden. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Sweden.
Yeah. And we even had a French engine as a test.
I think it's
test
one.
engine.
Now, here's the funny thing.
One
When they did run the German ICE on the Northeast Corridor, it
And
did
the
run.
Swedish train too.
Right, yeah, and
Yeah,
they had the
that's true.
X2000 on there as well.
It ran under its own
Now,
power.
hold on. Here's the funny part. The Germans basically said, "Look, this was fun and all, but there is no way we can actually bring this over to the United States because your infrastructure is so freaking out of sync. Like everything is completely busted
so
up.
poor.
There's no way. Exactly, it's busted up. It's over 100 years old. It hasn't been touched since Teddy Roosevelt walked the earth. There's no way we could be able to bring this on here realistically. Bye. That's what happened. So it. I mean, yeah, we have. I mean, look at right now. I mean, Amtrak is running a French design on the Northeast Corridor, but
The new Acellas.
yeah, and those
Yeah,
Acellas,
especially
they can't run anywhere close to their full capacity because of
I'm
just
saying because
having
the
the line.
infrastructure.
Yeah, it
The
has to
line,
run at
the
like
problem
60
is
miles
how
an
they
hour
built
average.
the line. Well, the problem is how they built the line was not built for those high-speed trains. That's so they're limited with
Right.
all the sharp curves.
Can I
we got-
speak?
All right,
Yes, you
yeah,
can.
go ahead, David. Go ahead, David. And I'm sorry, dump truck. We haven't gotten to you yet, so we'll go to you right after.
All right. This is something I was going to talk about earlier because we did not fully got through my first article or like my first stuff. When I was talking about with the two railroads, that there are third railroads that is right now dealing with the same crap that happened to the Northwestern Pacific and McLeod River Railroad. There were another railroad and it in right near San Francisco, in Santa Cruz County. It's the Santa Cruz Railroad, and they're right now dealing with the same crap that happened to them two railroads. And the group, like what I said earlier, the group I called out that blocked me, Minor Tree, shout out to you for taking screenshots because I'm blocked on there now. But they've been trying to screw over them and that little Narragansett Torrent walking railroad. They've been trying to go after both. They're trying to get rid of the history of railroading up there. They're trying their best to cover it up.
Yeah, and it's sad. There's just so many railroad museums out there, and they're really just hanging on by a thread, being propped up by the volunteers who are at least there keeping everything going. Yeah, there's just, it's funny because again, the U.S. government and the federal government will go ahead and donate billions of dollars of grants to museums, but you don't really see any of those museums being railroad museums or any sort of real history museums of any
Right.
sort. It's a whole bunch of either like lip shit slop or a whole bunch of other garbage that's like or modern art. Or that again, you want to talk about money laundry. Modern art is definitely one of the biggest ways. There's no way a banana with tape on the Miami airport wall is worth millions of dollars. It's obvious money laundering.
It isn't.
Oh, if it's
Are you sure that
worth millions of dollars, then
are you sure Biden's son's picture's not worth $500,000 at least? It's got to be worth millions, man. He's an avant-garde artist.
Guys, I'm still
speaking
speaking here.
You can't tell if he was lucid making up. Sorry, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
It seemed like in here, it's saying like they are actually trying to go after that, Warren. I can't say name of the railroad property. It's that Narragansett Torrent logging railroad called Warren. They're trying to go after that too. And here, funny thing, I called them out and said, we're going to call y'all out on live stream, which we are. Because here, the whole reason they're doing this is because who benefits from this? Not the people that live there, but the trucking company, the bus companies, the automotive company. They're the things that are going to really benefit from this. Not the people that live there.
Yeah,
and it pisses.
Go ahead.
It pisses me off that they are allowed to get away with it, and the fact that I called them out and they freaked out and blocked me was hysterical. It was hysterical that they freaked out because I called them out on their bull crap. And now we're publicly calling them out now.
Yeah, David, like I would say probably the only thing you have to leave, like when you go on a comment of any of those sections, just leave the white rabbit pointing at the clock. They'll be able to get it. I mean, this wasting away again in Margarita. The music will fade away at some point. I mean, look, it's just what it is. Memento mori, guys, and that's the thing. It's like. And it's again, it's not all of them. I don't have to keep saying neck salt for when it comes to boomers. I get it. It's not all of you, but I mean, it's again, it's the same thing. It's not all millennials and Zoomers are all into avocado toast or eating Tide Pods. I mean, that's not even a thing anymore. But I've literally heard them say it several times now in the last couple of weeks. I just put on Fox News at this point. just to laugh. It's become a comedy show. It's the worst form of propaganda at this point now. It's become a parody of itself. But somebody literally just went ahead and mentioned avocado toast. It's like, come on.
Well, you got them news and
coming from an hour of avocado toast.
Okay, but yeah, look, guys, time is on our side at this, regardless. The issue is that I would like things to be done faster than they are going right now. I'm pretty sure you all would like it. Yeah, and they should, and they can.
Yeah, we all like it, but it has to be done properly.
Yeah.
Still speaking, Alex?
Okay, David, go ahead, finish your point. Go ahead.
I do got them good news, and coming from Maine. I posted the article below the Brightline scene. We got some very good news up there.
All right, maybe we'll go back to that. Let's go back to Dump Trucker, Rennell, and then we'll open up the floor over here, and then we'll probably put this train to rest at around 10:15. That gives us enough time to get through everything. All right, Dump Trucker, go ahead.
I am going to share my hate for roundabouts because they are becoming obnoxiously annoying.
Oh, come on. You gotta love roundabouts. It gets a little bit wet. Turn on traction control, turn on your power, and just slide it all around.
I think they're better than traffic
That's what I
lights.
do on the middle of a construction site in the middle of winter. Just intentionally oversteer it.
better than
so the
traffic
truck
lights.
slides.
Okay, well, Dump Trucker, go more into roundabouts. How's your experience been?
They're just really annoying because people don't know how to use them.
That's true. And again, I'm coming from the place with the most amount of roundabouts in the United States, up in northern Indianapolis. Fishers, Carmel has
Carmel.
the most amount of roundabouts anywhere in the United States. And
now everybody is taking your state's ideas with roundabouts and are doing the same thing.
And here's the thing: is that they basically shat these roundabouts everywhere. It's like you guys do know that if you've done any sort of just 5 minutes of study into how roundabouts work, that there is a cap of about where you're getting let's put it this way.
They're popping up all over.
Yeah, past about 20,000 vehicles per hour, it starts to become I think it's around that number. I forget what it is at this point, guys, but there's a certain number of vehicles per hour where the roundabout starts to become more detrimental than helpful. And I've seen this so many times. But look, if you know how to get around roundabouts, if you know how to get around,
if you're familiar with AC, then you will absolutely hate roundabouts.
Yeah, the point is that most people shouldn't be driving. Let's put it that way. There's no way on earth that every single person should be driving.
There's this one sound meme out there.
There are some people that just shouldn't be.
Southern accent. He's like, "We never had tornadoes until they started building them roundabouts. People spinning and driving around in them roundabouts. Them roundabouts spinning up them tornadoes."
But I mean, how many accidents have you seen so far over in Iowa when it comes to roundabouts now?
Actually, not a lot. I actually haven't really seen any, but I mean, it might be working because traffic flow kind of improves. It gets annoying when it's like, okay, this doesn't feel needed, or it's the fact that I just hate how slow it goes.
Yeah, and I think it's just like you don't have to build every intersection does not have to be a roundabout, and not every person has to be driving in a car. It comes down. Look, want to go down to the whole root of the issue is that no, the entire American population does not want to be driving, does not need to be driving. Go ahead and just build actual train systems already. Build infrastructure where you can have
or build walkable cities.
Yeah, a demarcation
The
between
problem with
people want to live.
here's the problem with walkable cities is that when your entire city is spread out within miles and miles, like the entirety of New York City, walkability is out the window. It's just
City, you don't need a car.
Well, here's the thing when it comes to walkability.
I don't need a car because if you need to go outside of town, sometimes you have to have a car.
Well, hold on, Dump Trucker, because again, I spent some time in Japan.
If you're in town, don't use the car.
Okay, so here you can walk onto a train. The train would take you where you want to get closer to where you want to walk.
Like in Tokyo.
And then you walk over there, and that's that's fine. And then people can also drive. If you want to go ahead and drive around, a Nissan Skyline over on the Wangan and speed around, you can go ahead and do that. Again, you don't have as much traffic. There's traffic. Traffic still exists. It's not to say that they fixed completely everything and it's all sunshine and rainbows in Tokyo, but there's a lot less of the silliness that we deal with over here. Because, well, they don't have nowhere near the amount of zoning restrictions that we have over here in this country. There are actual mixed use and transit-oriented development underneath highways. Like there are restaurants underneath highways that you can build under a highway in Tokyo. Highways are getting built through buildings. So I mean, yeah, you can have that.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I mean, you can. It's just we have so many zoning laws and so many
some laws everything to get in the way.
It's so like at this point, it's like
regulations that you have to follow. That at that point, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, I think it may just be more worth it. Just at this point, it's like everything kind of has to crumble before we can even be able to build at this point. It's like, is that what it's going to take?
You have to start completely from scratch.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it means your original infrastructure falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tokyo got firebombed to where close to 60% of the city got burnt to a crisp
in World War II.
We burnt Tokyo to the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, I had family who were part of that, and they felt bad afterwards. I mean, we're talking about 120,000 people dead over this Tokyo firebombing. What happened in Dresden was also horrific. I mean, you have historic buildings, thousands of years old, gone within 2 or 3 nights. And it's the same thing that happened over in Tokyo. 120,000 people dead, more than the nuclear bombings. Most people don't even know or talk about that. But I mean, the thing is that with the cost of war, there's also a great cost in rebuilding too. Now, again, it's not the best way to go ahead and start building infrastructure is asking the United States to go ahead and destroy your country. Although our own politicians are doing a fantastic job at destroying our own country right now. But I mean, this is the thing with Iran. It's like Iran doesn't really have much going for it right now. It's like you're going to go after a country that's what was that like that Jordan that Key and Peele skit where like they have 2 boxers going in and one of them is an actual crazy person. I don't know if you guys remember that skit. I gotta find that one. But like that's Iran right now. It's like they will go ahead. You've pissed off a whole bunch of hornets over here. Our country isn't even prepared for war. They don't want to go to war. Okay, we have 350 million people here, which probably 100 million of them probably shouldn't be here. But regardless, let's say 300. Let's say 300 million people, just for numbers' sake, versus a country with a third of the population, halfway across the globe. That's the supply chain and logistics in order to support that kind of war effort. This is not Desert Storm or Iraqi Desert Freedom, where we have a massive coalition of countries that can go ahead and decimate with air power over and over again. We haven't even gotten air superiority over Iran within 4 weeks. So I mean, it's just not. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
We have been done.
Here's what you can say is you can just say, you know what? Here's what I've changed my mind a little bit with Israel. I like the people of Israel. I just don't like its government anymore. I think Israel started it. Israel can finish it.
Yeah, there you go. Let them. Look, you guys have your own weapon systems. You guys have your own manufacturing base, as small as it is.
They have a whole freaking laser cannon.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's what I was looking at. Key and Peele Ultimate Fighting Match. That was the I was going at, but like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one. This is the U.S. versus Iran right now. It's like I'm going against an actual literal crazy person. That's not fair for either of us. I mean, I kind of emulate the crazy person when I go sparring. It's like nobody. I'm not being like completely serious there, but it's like I'm the guy that's jumping around. That looks like I just had maybe 300 milligrams of caffeine back at 12 o'clock noon, but still, I mean, send me the 270-pound guy. I'm going to give him his money's worth. at
But
this point.
I don't mean to make anybody. I don't want to make this make sad news, but we might see another rail trail that has a line might get abandoned because
All
of a
right.
rail trail.
Let's go ahead and change topics over here. So what rail trail is completely a rail trail that's absolutely not needed?
It's like the last it's one of the last Milwaukee road lines in the city.
Oh no.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
The Milwaukee Road.
Wait, I mean, what city?
Find the article here in Des Moines.
Do we need to stick the nuclear goose on them?
No, I think the railroad's fighting back on it because it really hasn't been talked to much outside.
I'm gonna
of
keep saying it deserves an episode of its own. And again, this is all a mea culpa on my end for not being able to go ahead and do actual videos. But certainly, rail trails are a topic that needs to be visited in its own separate video. This is just, it's out of control.
It should.
Yeah.
I mean, they can work together, but they rarely do.
Yeah, and it's like, look, I don't mind having, walkability. Absolutely, you need that. But the problem is now you're going to destroy what could be actual functional infrastructure. So a couple of baby boomers in leotards can go play with their $5,000 toys on it. That's basically what it becomes.
For 10 years.
That's what rail trails are.
I mean, if you look at the line, what does it serve? Or is there any business on the line?
Yeah. I really don't want to know. There's not any. There's not like there's
actually,
like ice
there
cream
is
shops
business
along
on
it.
the line. There is business on
There
the line.
isn't.
And it's out there. Here, finally, an article or something I can look at.
Yeah.
Or is it one of those?
I mean,
it's a pay to read. Of course, pay to read.
Dump truck. Give me the link. I got you, man.
Do you have the coin register thing?
Send me the link. I'll throw it through archive. I got it. But yeah, just put it in the chat. But I mean, yeah, going well, David's brought up so many short line articles, but that's the thing. It's like all these rail trails are now taking away what could be short lines. So when manufacturing does eventually come back,
it's kind of weird. So it's Des Moines. It's owned by Norfolk Southern, but it's leased. But the operations are leased out to the Iowa Interstate Railroad.
Yeah, that's definitely a business
and they've
model.
I know they've got like two business. I think there's like one or two businesses on there along that route. And so I think the railroads is like, we're gonna reject your offer. We still got businesses out here, but they want to make a trail.
Yeah, no, that's not right. If they already have businesses already operating or using the services of that short line, there's no need. Again, unfortunately,
they can't
Norfolk
abandon
Southern.
it.
They're along with Union Pacific. They're the two big villains of the Class 1 railroad. So I mean,
they
I don't even think Norfolk Southern really cares about that line anymore. I think the Iowa Interstate just kind of. I mean, NS owns it. Iowa Interstate runs on it.
It's a tough call, and honestly, this is where you have to have look. Again, in my libertarian days, I would have said, "Oh, well, it's a business; they can do whatever they want." The free market. Well, no, the free market isn't free because you have all these companies that are taking it in charge. So I mean, like, yeah, I can go more whatever, authoritarian right or whatever else to go ahead and counter this sort of thing. But it's like it's not going to happen right now in this country. The way things are, it's only going to take time until. Again, it's a ticking clock. Once the baby boomers start to wane in power is when we'll start to get in power. Eventually.
And what makes this line historic in a sense is that this was a line that went up to I think it was Spirit Lake or that lake called. I can't remember.
Dump trucker
Storm
for
Lake. It went up to Storm Lake. It was a little line. It was one of the famous lines that went up to Storm Lake.
Yeah, I got it going. Oh, it looks like it was archived already 2 weeks ago. Okay. By the way, little quick. I know there's an easier way to do it. Going into DevTools and Chrome, but the easiest way if you want to get past a paywall is just put the link into archive.today, and there you go. That's as simple as that.
And then you can read it.
There you go. Simple as that. So There's a trick, guys, to get past all these the paywalls for the journalists that can't do journalism anymore half the time. But look, I get there's still not all of them, not all journalists, but you know what I mean. Some of them, I assume, are good journalists.
I know what you mean.
You know, it's all fun and games until the journalists find out that people are doing that, and then they're gonna have that shut down. So
no, but it's been happening for years. They haven't gone around it for a lot of reasons. They just can't they can't figure it out at this point. So I mean, like, hey, you can't stop this workaround.
Oh, well. Can't figure. Yeah. Oh well. No,
correct. It's
but after reading Ryan Holiday's "Trust Me, I'm Lying," there's again once you know how journalism in this country works, and that was back what, like 15, 20 years ago. It hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten way worse. But
it had
worse. Definitely good book to read, even though it's old. Trust Me, I'm Lying, or just read a summary of it. Or any of the
we could read Japanese National Railways, The Breakup and Privatization.
That's one thing.
Now
you could read that book. That's a good book.
Say this.
Let me see.
I do got my article from Maine, and it's been good that actually happened for rail up in Maine.
Okay, well, we'll read that too. Let me go ahead and read through this. Cities from Grimes to Des Moines prepare for potential new rail trail. Oh, here we go. More than 12-mile stretch of abandoned rail.
Oh boy.
Recreation trail. Yeah, I'm not going to read any more than that. I think I get it at this point. Dump truck. Let me see. Let me scroll down through the article, see if there's anything. Where could the line go? Andrea Bolton, Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation statewide trails and community conservation director, said March 9th it's too early to say how much of the Grimes line could be abandoned. The railroad plans to remove its track, but there's no timeline. And yeah, look,
it's a load of bull because that line is still receiving.
I think they did that in New York State too.
Okay, what?
Petitioning the federal government would not commit the cities to converting the rail corridor into a trail or to paying any initial related expenses, according to several cities' documents. But the city's petition would start the process known as rail banking that could someday allow for the trail to be deployed or when the railroad has abandoned the tracks. Yeah, look, the whole system, it's a big club and you're not in it. The boomers that are in power over here are going to go ahead.
Little section of the line.
What is it?
There's only like half the line. I mean, there's a little bit of the line that's abandoned. If you go like into Grimes, it's abandoned, but I don't know what they mean by tear up because I know that there's still a customer that uses the railroad.
Boomer Billy needs it to hurry up because he's got to drive his new $10,000 Schwinn on it at some point.
Yeah, actually, that's literally what it is.
That's what it is. It's literally what it is. It's as simple as possible. Boomer Billy wants to drive his $10,000 bike. We all have to be subjected to seeing his ass crack in the leotard.
He wants to drive his electric bike on it.
Privatize the gains and socialize the ass cracks. That's the Boomer way.
Yes. We're gonna show us.
Alrighty, David. Okay, let's see your article over here. Okay, so what's going on over in Maine?
Well, CXX of them are building a new TransFlow facility.
All right, let's see here. New Hampshire-based company wants to lease and operate a dormant freight rail line connecting Bangor and Bucksport. Bucksport.
Bangor.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Bucksport.
There we go. All right. Transload Access started the process of taking over operation of that branch. Another branch between Augusta and Waterville from current owner CSX. According to a filing made with the Federal Surface Transportation Board last week, that would require board approval. The Bucksport Ranch has gone mostly unused since the closure of the Verso paper mill in 2014. There you go. Look, again, manufacturing goes, so goes the railroads. With the mill site now largely dormant, there's been little expectation that service along the 18.8-mile corridor would ever be revived until, let's see what happens here. Let's see. Our goal is to work collaboratively to private investment and public-private partnerships to rebuild rail infrastructure and attract new rail service industries and strengthen Maine's industrial and logistics economy. Yeah, look. Eventually, what we're gonna need is some sort of tri-patriot system. You need governments for you just have that's just what it is. You need the government, you need businesses, and you need the people too. You need all three to work together, or else it doesn't go anywhere. Because if you have the government in charge, it's the same thing. It's like it's either one end of the spectrum or the other. You're getting hit with the big stick of the government, or you're getting hit with the big stick of big business. And then the people are stuck in the middle. So
Alan,
yeah, public-private partnerships work in this case.
Alan, everywhere. You want to talk about your post from your region?
Yes. Basically, one of my customers on my local commuter line has a lumber yard. It's basically a big one.
Nice.
But it still sells lumber on a weekly basis.
Okay, lumber applied with the importance of rail to a modern building material supplier. Okay. Kukin Brothers is excited to announce the launch of our latest video, The Importance of Rail to a Modern Building Material Supplier. In this video, President Doug Kukin and VP of Operations Matt Kukin discuss the impact that acquiring shipments of lumber and building materials by rail has on their customers, the environment, and their local communities in New Jersey and New York. Each year receive over 500 rail cars of building materials by rail, says Doug Kukin. It would take approximately 1,500 tractor trailers to deliver an equivalent amount of material. Imagine the traffic. That is significant savings.
One car.
Yeah. Significant savings in fuel and resources, as well as drastic reduction in vehicle traffic already are congested roadways. Yeah, and look, we wouldn't be having so much of an issue when it comes to gas prices if we had more of a robust rail infrastructure. On top of that, we could electrify this, and we've had electrified freight railroads. Gee, if only we could we could boil water with almost an unlimited amount of energy to make electricity.
Correction.
Is this part where we
still
bring
have
up spicy rocks?
The N-word. You know what the N-word is?
Quick correction.
It's the nuclear word.
Quick correction.
He mentioned the N-word yesterday.
There we are. Nuclear mentioned again.
Quick correction on you, Demetrius. We still have.
News. Bring it in.
Hang on, David.
Go ahead, dump trucker. What is it?
Demetrius. We still have electric freight railroads.
We do.
At least one.
Three of them.
One, I think in Iowa.
Mason City.
The Iowa Tracking Company in Iowa, and another one out in the Midwest that haul coal.
Ooh, where's that one at?
So it's somewhere in Arizona.
Oh, I thought that one shut down. I heard that got shut down.
Wait, I think when that got shut down,
there were two out there.
That guy. Oh, I heard those shut down. Actually,
no,
like they're no longer in service anymore.
Wait,
they ran out of coal to haul.
No, one of them is still open, and it's the one on a reservation operated by Native Americans. There is one electric railroad out west that is operated by either the Apache tribe. I don't remember what Native American group operates it, but there's still an electric railroad in the Midwest that it operated to haul coal.
Where at?
It's somewhere in Arizona.
Yeah, let me see if I can do a quick search on that Arizona Electric Freight Railroad. Let's see.
Because the one you're talking about, that shut down, went into Colorado. That one from Utah to Colorado.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one. What's the name of the road again?
Is it the Black Mesa Lake Powell Railroad?
Yes.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, Black Mesa and Lake Powell Railroad, operated by Salt River Project and the Navajo Nation. Yep, there you go, and the Hopi tribe. This isolated line was disconnected from the national rail network and exclusively handled coal traffic. I'm not quite sure if it's still is it still operating? Because I mean, according to this, it seems like it's implying that it's not even being operated.
I'm looking it up now because I thought I heard that place. Oh yeah, they shut down in 2019.
Oh wait.
It closed in 2019. Dude.
Okay, so we're back down to one electric freight railroad in operation.
David, you're.
If that one in Arizona, didn't one in Colorado and Utah that is still operated.
Wait a minute.
Because
which one?
There
What's the
another
Colorado
one.
Utah one.
All right.
Because the one that go from Utah into Colorado.
All right,
I don't
guys.
remember.
Let's hold on. We got 3-minute warning over here. Let's get some last words in. Maybe we'll add in 5 more minutes.
I'll look for it here. I'll look for it.
I have something.
Look for it later on. Y'all know next.
Renell, what's up? Let's let him speak.
I adding a little bit to what I said earlier. I think Amtrak got kind of comfy in the position that they were, and since they had a monopoly for so long, and they probably thought, well, we don't have to spend money on like passenger rail innovation, whatever's going on like overseas. It wasn't until something started happening, and we know who, on their own turf. On their own turf, that they finally said, "Oh, we really are going to have to spend the money." You see what they're doing now.
Yeah, and I think
with the Portal North Bridge and everything.
I mean, paraphrasing Bill Lindo here. By the way, fantastic political writer, and he's the one behind the term about fourth generation warfare. But him and Paul Wywerk have gone, because they're both big rail fans as well. They've gone into so much detail about how just absolutely unfair and how it's not at all conducive of a free market system of what's going on to Amtrak, is because, well, here's something that could and can be both publicly or privately operated, but it's neither really, was for at least a good amount of time. I mean, Amtrak is doing a far better job right now than it used to do before. But at the time, it wasn't being run correctly as a private company, nor as a public company, because it wasn't getting the funding. It wasn't getting the direction it needed to be an actual successful passenger rail system. So it was just the worst of both worlds. But now, at least when it comes with the introduction of Brightline in the national scale, as well as now Brightline West, slowly but surely becoming a reality. I'm still pretty disappointed at how slow it's going, but I mean that's at least given Amtrak enough of a kick to go ahead and say, oh shoot, we really need to start actually doing this. Now, unfortunately, the only limiting factor to Amtrak is who's in charge every 4 years, and even then, you'll have somebody who gets in charge that ends with a D every 4 years. They give a whole lot of promises to Amtrak and then don't really give much of anything. Look, we've given Biden enough credit over here. I mean, as silly of a who knows if he's still alive or whatever. At this point, who cares? But I mean, at least we'll give the administration one thing. They did give a shit ton of money to Amtrak and to the rest of the passenger railroad companies. So at least we'll give them that. So I mean, that's at least something we can go ahead and celebrate. That's there we go. I mean,
hey Demetrius,
thank you, Amtrak Joe.
Oh, and I can't confirm that the Desert Power Railway in Utah and Colorado is still operational.
Oh, they're still operational?
We do have two. Yep, we do have two left.
Okay, there we go.
And
okay,
now,
so
some people will say that the South Shore line is still is interurban, but I think not. I think it lost its interurban touch when they got rid of the street running.
Oh man. Okay. Renell, was anything else you wanted to add there?
Yes, I think until something started to happen on their own turf, that it took them a long time really to figure out that.
Yeah, I think they would have been able to get to where they needed to be faster if they, one, had effective leadership, and two, actually had somewhere near the funding of what France has for. Again, you have to make sure. Okay, David just dropped out. We'll bring him back in. I mean, look,
France
we
and
could,
Japan, right?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing with Japan is that they were able to publicly fund that to a certain degree. And the thing is that privatization in Japan works is because they did privatization the right way as opposed to what Britain did, which was piecemeal. Let's separate the infrastructure, the service, the equipment, and handling to different private companies. And let's hope that works. I mean, it's just it's eternal Anglo way of knowing it's going to fail.
UK, and you know what? When the UK realized that, they went right back to nationalizing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Funny how that all worked, but I mean, poor Britannia. Britannia's run by knaves.
Hey guys, was I right about the other electrified railroad?
You were right, David.
Yes, you were right, David.
You're
right.
There's still another one out there.
All right, Darius.
Yeah, let's give David a gold
hold on a
star.
second. Darius, do you have any last words before we start closing this down?
Good luck with the baby.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, good luck.
I hope we're able to do another live stream next week, but I'll probably know
we'll
it.
see. Look, I'm going to take it day by day at a time. Put my trust in Christ and
And happy Easter. Happy Easter,
and happy Easter. Happy Easter to
Happy Easter, happy
everybody.
Passover.
All
Hey,
right.
Demetrius,
Passover tomorrow.
take your time. Take your time. Don't feel forced to do these. Don't feel forced. I know you're going to be taking care of a kid. That's going to be a lot more than...
A lot more challenging.
Oh, don't worry. Don't
yeah.
worry. I mean, look, I definitely going to take as much time as I need in order to go ahead. Look, my priority number one is going to be my family. That's without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm going
to...
Yeah.
If you don't have to you don't even have to post on YouTube for a month and we wouldn't care.
I'll at least let you guys know. I mean, I'll post a little bit here on Discord here and there, just at least. Well, we'll see how it all goes. I mean, again, don't expect. Let's put it this way: don't expect a live stream anywhere in the next 2 weeks. That's just what it's going to be. Now there may be some funny little April Fool's things coming up tomorrow. But that's about it.
I forgot to say.
How about
the
second part of American Train?
That's coming when it's coming at this point.
Wait,
at some point, maybe with this baby, maybe there'll be some. I guess maybe some free time here or there. I don't know if I can be able to take off some work. But at least working from home, I may be able to get some time to finish out this script that I have. That I have in the works here. But let's see. Let's give it a chance and see where things
play it by day, man. Just play it by day.
Yeah, like I said, day by day. Just the struggle's gonna be real. It's just what it is. Just gotta take it day by day.
I kind of want to see American Train Part 2. I liked your first one.
Oh, yeah. We need to work on that new one, that for sure.
Yeah, that does need well, let's see, because I mean right now I think this opportunity that the US Department of Transportation, again, I don't trust that they're actually going to go forward with anything, even with the winner of this so-called contest. It's like, oh, we have to go back to like the Lunchables tier of contest here. From the U.S. Department of Transportation to, oh, let's find a way to beautify America. It's like there's thousands of ideas already out there. Just pick something and go. But all right, challenge accepted. We'll go ahead and try this and see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be a lot to juggle. But let's see. There's definitely going to be. I want to get at least a YouTube video in before April. But let's see. Again, I'm probably jinxing myself here with that by saying that, and then December 2026 comes around, and that's the end of that.
And then it's Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm just looking at telegrams. There's a channel on like Telegram and on X. It just like just says year progress, and it's like 25% complete. It's like, oh man, didn't we just start it again? Didn't we just start this year?
Robbie.
All right. Anybody have any last? I know we're way over 10:15, but at this point, it is what it is, guys. Any last words anybody wants to drop in here?
Nope.
Yeah,
No,
I did post one poll though.
before you do, 6 days ago marked 2 years since the Scott Bridge accident.
Yeah, two years later, and we still have no bridge.
Oh, the one in Baltimore?
Accident?
The Baltimore Bridge.
The one where the container ship crashed into?
Oh.
When the day the bridge got redeemed.
Oh, well, I think the thing is that I don't want to sound like I'm trying to justify that, but I mean, they did have to plan a new bridge and get approval for it.
It's going to take time, but it will get done.
I mean, again, reminder how long it took the Army Corps of Engineers to build a rail bridge back in 1945. It took them 13 days.
So the thing is, nowadays, is that things are usually planned years ahead of schedule.
Everything has to hold the weight of the train.
Hang on. The interstate projects that they might be doing in your area right now, they were planning those out years ago. I mean, 2000s, years ago.
I know, but it's still ridiculous. It's like, it's kind of an emergency. The bridge got destroyed. Build it. Just build a new bridge.
They literally, I think they literally were like rushing to find a design, find a replacement, plan a replacement.
Materials.
That was probably the fastest they've ever done a bridge project.
Well, and here's the worst part about the Baltimore Bridge is that the cost has already tripled. I believe either it's definitely doubled or tripled or quadrupled the original going rate of what the bridge was going to be built for, and it hasn't even started construction yet. They haven't even finished cleaning up the mess from there. So I mean, at this
they
point,
didn't go through insurance.
Cleaning that up.
Hey, Dimitri,
they're in good hands with all this.
And out of place.
Fuck, man.
Dimitri,
pilots in place. When the pilots they got upgraded.
Yeah, it's just like the whole thing is just a complete mess. I mean, at this point, it's like you just gotta throw your hands up in the air. It's like, there's really no political solution to getting anything done in a timely rate in this country. I mean, it'll be done, 2035? I guarantee you they're going to have an opening ceremony, and whoever's the mayor of Baltimore at that point, they'll just love to go ahead and cut the ribbon. They'll have this comically, cartoonishly large scissors, and they'll have that picture up in their office of opening up the new bridge.
Here's the funny thing. It'll sit in their office for probably 2 months, and then they'll take it down and put it in storage.
Yeah, just like the pansies over in California that went ahead. They can't even hold a hammer correctly. I mean, guys, you had advanced knowledge of this. You had at least 10 years to prepare for to get your hammer skills going. Wait, where's that video? Oh god, we have to watch.
I don't know.
Goodness
I know
gracious.
you're probably rambling, but just remember what time it is.
I am absolutely rambling.
Yeah, in about 5 minutes, you gotta go.
Dimitri, look at the meme. Look at the meme photo.
All right, guys. All right, I'm gonna look at the meme. I'm only rambling going on after this because I know we're not gonna have enough time. All right, what's
All right.
Can you get me the video? Amtrak and Brightline on the same call.
This guy looks exactly like Ian Mitchell.
Hey, Demetrius, I got a call tonight, so you have a good night. Good luck with the baby. And
okay, good night.
Appreciate it,
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night,
God bless.
Bye.
Take care.
Good luck. God bless.
But yeah, look, cat mortar inbound. Get it?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's kind of funny.
Could you? I never got the video of Amtrak and Brightline on the same call where Brightline was taking over the show.
I'm pretty sure I sent it in the
never
general
saw
chat
it.
like a year ago or no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll look it up again, but I'll try to see if I can find that. But no guarantees I can get it right now, Renault, but I'll certainly get it within like the next week or so with everything going on.
Oh, by
All
the way,
right, David, what's
Demetrius.
your meme? Let me see. Let me see your meme. Okay. Goodness gracious, covered in yellow snow here.
Pollen.
Oh, the pollen. Okay. All right.
It's pollen season.
It's pollen season. So my immune system is way too robust for suffering
I
through.
saw something. I saw something. It was Banks Rail and another rail fans saying
God,
that they should
that's
fund
personal.
Amtrak. Is that the one we're talking about?
Good
Wait,
God,
I'm sorry,
Banks
Renell. What are
Rail
what are you referring to?
You were talking about some people who are train fans, and they said like to fund Amtrak.
Oh, William S. Lind and Paul Wyrick. And that's Wyrick
Them.
spelled Weyrich. Yeah.
I saw a documentary by I think Banks Rail and a couple other people collaborated.
Can I be
Yeah.
honest
It's like
about
an
Banks Rail?
hour-long thing.
Yeah, and I
The
think
guy
like, it's
is
also comes from an end of national security too, because you can't have a nation without working infrastructure. So it's like we're shooting ourselves in the foot over here by not having any working infrastructure. And like it's here we are where the chickens have come home to roost. Here's World War III here, and we're nowhere near prepared. So it's what it is. Yeah, just don't be going and dying in the sand again for greatest ally. Just don't. It's not worth it. It hasn't been worth it the last 3 times we did it, so it's definitely not going to be worth it now.
Yeah, but you have to think of how much money you can make, and from the Pixar documentary, The Incredibles, you have to remember the greatest line. How about help our people? What about our stockholders, Bob? Who's helping them out, huh?
I gotta watch that movie again. You know what? I got something that me and my wife are gonna watch. We're definitely gonna watch The Incredibles. That was definitely one of the best. My personal favorite Pixar movie, and then probably after that, WALL-E.
Incredibles, you kind of miss it.
The original Toy Story was amazing.
Yeah, the original Toy Story. I mean, that was a game changer in animation.
I like that one.
Yep. So
in a wood chipper. Throw them in a wood chipper. That's what I'd say. Problem solved. Throw them in the wood chipper.
Where's the meme? It's like where like it has like Mr. Incredible and whatever the accountant dude or whatever it was, the insurance adjuster, whatever it was. I'm losing my mind over here, guys.
I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
Yeah. But yeah, that guy, and it's like the world's now basically stuck where a guy who could be able to hunt and kill for his food now has to be working for a guy who can barely do anything. It's like that's how I have felt for like the last 15 years.
Dimitri, bright line of here. Bright line of here.
Yeah, we are like 15 minutes past 10:15 at this point, but okay, Brightline fan, welcome aboard. You have like 2 minutes. Go ahead.
All right.
Last one.
So basically,
Welcome aboard.
I almost sleep pretty too early for this.
I can barely hear you, man. You gotta fix your mic.
Is your volume on?
Anyways, I'm actually lowering my volume right now because my family's asleep.
Okay, that's understandable.
Okay, understandable.
All right, so basically, man, America is going crazy right now, right? Well, have you seen the reels that I've sent you about like a week ago?
I probably let me see. I'm scrolling down. I'm pretty sure I've seen them. I can't just jog my memory here.
It was about the Cuban. Hassan Piker was in Cuba a few days before.
Yes, that I saw. Yeah, I mean, look, Cuba is nowhere near what it used to be in multiple ways, either demographically or just economically. It's nowhere near anywhere that it can get back to on its feet. Even without the sanctions, they still had all the other countries they can go ahead and economically go ahead and trade with. They weren't able to fix that. It just has to do with that, just Cuba's way of running anything was just absolutely miserable. Okay, I mean, look, there's China is a technically a communist country, even though they're not really. They're running more like a national socialist country. But regardless, I mean, China has been able to do well amount of business across the planet. And again, that has to do with probably also the Chinese people. But Cuba just hasn't been able. I mean, look, their biggest imports have been cigars, boxers, and baseball players. That's about it. With some tourism. But I mean, like it's just like culturally, the country is nowhere near whatever it was back in the 1950s. And honestly, it doesn't matter. It's like you can try to open up that country as much as possible, unless the people themselves really want to do something, and it has to come from them. There's no need for American intervention at this point. Is you're just making the problem worse. So whatever.
We can always give Cuba over to the Dominican Republic instead of Haiti.
Oh goodness. Don't get Brightline. Don't get Genesis started on Haiti, please don't. Or the rest of the Dominican Republic, the Haiti problem.
Hey, if you don't want to deal with Haiti, do it with the Dominican Republic.
With that.
We could have traded Puerto Rico for Cuba, but hey, the damage is done. It is what it is. And it's like at this point, it's like as descendants of Cubans, I don't really care what happens to Cuba. It's not my country. It's not. I don't care.
It's like the United States doesn't own that.
No, and it's not only that. It's just like wasting so much time, effort, and resources. It's like we have our own country to deal with. We have our own destiny to deal with. No, it's just like let it go. It's not gonna get fixed. It's not anymore. We've already tried something, and it's not going well in Venezuela either. Funny enough, Colombia. I did put in that article. I'm not gonna go over it, but you guys can see. Yeah, you have basically it's Mad Max over in Colombia, with the gas gangs, going around. Yeah, like they're literally stealing gas out of pipelines, and taking over towns and villages, to have control over these pipelines. It's turned on into like a full scale war over there. But I mean, it's just we haven't been such a good steward of Latin America over here, and now we're gonna go ahead and jump over into the Middle East for World War III. It's like our priorities are backwards, and we're not even doing anything well.
I think we just voted in a president that's been doing more Middle Eastern wars. Trump actually promised that we weren't going to jump into. No, he promised no more wars, but he broke his promise, which is ridiculous.
No, he did. He went to his promise. It wasn't no more wars. It was no more wars.
They forgot to put the comma on the poster.
Yeah, there you go. They forgot. It's the thing.
Punctuation issues again.
Here we go again. Oh man, yeah, it's just it's what it is. But anyway, Genesis, thank you for coming on late. Okay, guys, we're at 10:34 over here. Everybody's got work tomorrow. It's just what it is. But I mean, this could be the last live stream for a good bit. So any last final words? I know I'm dragging this on, but I mean, I love you guys. I'm trying to give as much. Oh, David dropped off again. I know he's gonna have some final words, so let's drop him in back here again.
Good night, Demetrius.
Good night, Darius. God bless.
But I'm probably going to pick up where you left off, so I'm probably going to be doing a live stream next Saturday. So anybody want to join, feel free, because we're going to have a ton to talk about, and I mean a ton.
I'm saying because you might have lost him.
But it's just super crazy. And graduating on your kid, Demetrius.
Thank you. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on, so you guys are not freaking out about everything. I mean, it's been a tough several years on the channel here, in 10 plus years that we've been doing this, but I mean, we're here. It's a struggle every day. You just got to keep going through it. It's life and death, and get through it. But the show must go on somehow. And if it's not me, someone else will take the mantle. So it's just what it is.
I think, like because I got a ton of stuff to talk about, and I will be talking about that on my YouTube channel with trains and stuff. So some of the guys, you can come over and hang out, talk. Well, Dimitri, while you're on your hiatus, am I right?
Yeah, there's an actual hiatus. Speaking, I have the perfect profile picture for hiatus. So there we go. I am the embodiment of hiatus.
No Texas Central, right?
Yeah, that's another Texas Central is definitely not happening. I don't think that's happening at this point.
Yeah,
Alrighty, guys.
I think Amtrak's going most to take over. I'm thinking.
David Mitchell,
Oh man. Okay, guys. Let's end it here. This is where we're gonna go ahead and end it on. Where is that little sound on the soundboard? There we go. At some point, I got to get myself an actual soundboard. But
That's
hey,
a Thomas whistle.
There we go. That works. Okay, everybody who's watching on, still on here, thank you all for joining on this wild ride here on the American Rail Club. Again, we thank you all for this journey and throughout the years. Now we'll be back soon at some point, but yeah, it's gonna be a little different the next time when I'm back on here. But yeah, thank you guys. Happy Easter. Good night, everyone. God bless.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
Stay safe out there for sure. As things are getting wacky, to say the least. So yeah, stay strapped. Stay prepared. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe, guys, and we will see you on next time. Godspeed. Thank you for riding. Take care.
Godspeed. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Have a nice April.